Welcome back, everybody, to another Bear Show. I'm Ivan Vargas. Got a little special surprise for you today. Caleb Williams did speak to the media at the NFL Combine, so I wanted to go ahead and catch you guys up, play the interview in its entirety, and let's see what Caleb has to say about his experience and what he's looking forward to potentially being the number one draft. Well, in his mind, definitely being the number one draft pick in this year's NFL draft. But before we get started, once again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Tape Never Lies Network. Make sure you become a patron today. If you want to catch Draft Mob, if you want to see all the breakdowns, if you want to catch the pop-up shows that we deliver during this offseason, I'm telling you, it's the best $7 you can invest in. Go ahead and become a patron today. www.thetapeneverlies.com. So without further ado, let me go ahead and say what's up to the guys in the chat. Creighton, what's up? I saw him talk. He seems like a good kid. It must be a trap. I bet he plans to unleash his painted nails on Chicago and thus destroying the universe. Woe is us. I sense a bit of sarcasm there, Creighton. But yeah, he seems like the devil incarnate when he was up there at the podium today. Yeah, he seems like a good kid. You'll see that for yourself in just a minute. Daytime IV therapy. I must have been a good boy to deserve this. Richard, thank you for joining me. Always, like I said, I'm going to try to jump in whenever I can with these interviews to pop up and give you guys, some input, some insight, and actually just catch you guys up with all the Bears content and all the Bears news that I could possibly do. Josh Pruitt, let's fucking go all in on C-Dub. Yeah, after that interview, I feel like it, man. Like I truly feel a little, and I was already convinced that he was the guy, but after that interview, I feel a lot safer than I did maybe like 2-3 months ago. I feel a lot safer with taking Caleb Williams than I've ever felt. So I'm very excited. Let's go ahead and just jump into this thing. This is Caleb Williams from the NFL Combine. About I would say 40 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago. This is Caleb Williams, NFL Combine. Oh, once again, just FYI, there are no microphones for these reporters and the media, so bear with me. I'll try to, if I could hear it, I'll try to decipher it as best as I can for you. If I can't, I'm just going to let Caleb answer.
Good morning, everybody. No, not doing things. It was a decision by me and my team, my family, and it comes down to that.
Greg Braggs.
Yeah. I'd say the player and person that they be getting, a person that cares for his teammates. Some of y'all may have seen, some of y'all may have not. I try to take care of all my guys, no matter if you've been fourth on the depth chart or you're the star player. So I care for my teammates, and then the other part is I'm a fierce competitor, as you may have seen after some games. I mean, the Bears was an 8-9 team last year, I believe, and 7-10. Sorry, and that's pretty good for a team that has the first pick. And they got a good defense. They got good players on offense, and it's pretty exciting. If you could go into a situation like that. Yep. Whole lot of dominant quarterback play? No, not at all. I don't compare myself to the other guys, that's there or been there. I think I'm my own player, and I tend to like to, create history and rewrite history.
All right, now real quick before we get into the other one, and again, say what you want, think what you want. It'll all play itself out, and we'll find out, here shortly, who is going to be. But Bill, Pizza Man, like I would dare you to find a non-egotistical asshole in the NFL. There's a lot of them. I don't think this kid is. I think he's just confident and he wants to stay on a positive path mentally. Yeah, he's going to say something that might unsettle certain people, but I don't think it's to be malicious or to be just a piece of shit prima donna. I think he wants to focus on winning, and that's his drive. And his drive is to end up in Canton one day with a few Super Bowls. That's just what I'm reading it. I don't read ego. I don't read, and honestly, I'll give you this. Ego has a little to do with it, but in the NFL, you're going to have some type of ego to succeed. You're going to like look at Tom Brady. You know, Tom Brady. You tell me Tom Brady doesn't have an ego? Peyton Manning, you see Peyton now, but Peyton on the sidelines, Peyton in the locker room, I guarantee you Peyton had an ego. Now, is it detrimental to the team? That's yet to be seen. I don't feel that way. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Perfectly fine. But I think Caleb Williams is more of a competitor than some arrogant, egotistical maniac.
Yeah, this is one of the seasons that it's none like any other season that I've had, to where I've been so close to being either neutral or close to having a losing record, and so it was tough for me. Like I said, I'm a competitor. I like to win, and so being that close to losing was difficult for me. But I had people in my corner to help me and figure out the energy and feeling that I was feeling. I think it's important going into situations because there's nobody in the first part of the draft that would be, early in the draft, and I expect myself to go high. To be a 12 and whatever team, or the teams are going to be, at least from the year before. It's kind of going to be how I went into USC, where they were 4-8 and things like that. So just preparing for those moments, and I think last year was a perfect example for me. Yeah, I learned, either you grow from something like that, and Lincoln sat me down, um, after maybe our loss to Utah, I believe, and he sat me down and he said either you grow from something like this, or you keep feeling this feeling, and you'll stay where you are. Over my what? My height? It's the first time I'm hearing about my height and size. I'm around Aaron Rodgers' size and maybe weight too. 215, 220, and 6'1", 6'2". So
Yeah, I don't get that either. I've watching him in games, watching him on film, and I know it's different in person, but I've never thought that he was short or slight or anything like that. He just obviously it's lying season, like we've mentioned before. So you're gonna get these weird type of analysis. So I don't see it. I don't think it's going to be a problem. But hey, people have their own opinions.
yeah, so for the medical stuff, I'll be doing the medical stuff, just not here in Indy. I'll be doing it at the team interviews. Not 32 teams can draft me. There's only one of me, and so the teams that I go to for my visit, those teams will have the medical, and that'll be it. Um, I didn't feel the need to go out and throw. I played around 30 some games, I believe. Um, Go ahead and go watch real live ball of me and see how I am as a competitor. My dad put me in football when I was 4. My mom didn't let me play tackle football my first year. I thought I was going to love it. At 4 years old, I did, and the next year after that, I was a bit too aggressive for flag football, so my mom let me play tackle, and from there fell in love even more. By the time I hit 11 or 12, I told my dad that this is what I wanted to do, and we put together a plan, and he's helped me every part of the way.
All right, Bill. When you listen to what he said, right? When you listen to what he said, they asked him, "Why aren't you going to work out for all the teams?" He said, "Well, I just want to work out for the teams that actually have a shot to draft me. There's 32 teams and only one of me." That had nothing to do with him talking about himself, putting himself on some pedestal. He's saying there's a select few teams that can actually have a shot at drafting me. Why am I going to work out for the all the teams that aren't going to draft me? Why am I going to give my medicals to all the other teams that have no shot at drafting me? There's only one of me. Like, I think you're reading into it as he's trying to say that there's only one of me. I'm the best. I'm the fucking greatest. I'm going to come in here and just shake things up and be better than Pat Mahomes and shit like that. That's not what I'm getting from this, Bill. So again, you read it how you read it. I'm going to read it how I read it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, um, they were awesome. I spoke more about ball and things like that, just because the interviews are so short. So it was more about them getting to know me, getting to test my mental, what I know, the base things of what it takes to be a quarterback in the NFL. 10 minutes is difficult to figure out if they're going to be able to develop you. I enjoyed the meeting. It was a good meeting, but 10 minutes or so is pretty difficult. Yep. Um, he does. I've actually heard that about the artist or surgeon thing, and I like to think that when it's time to be surgical, it's time to be surgical. There's been many games where it gets late in the game, and I've ran or scrambled and threw a crazy pass. That's been the artist, the magician. And then there's been times where even when I hurt my hamstring and I couldn't run, I sat in the pocket the whole time, the rest of the game, and delivered the ball. It's important to be in the pocket. It's part of the game. It's also important to be out of the pocket, and just be just as good as you are in the pocket and out of pocket.
Yeah, actually, Christian, real quick, Greg Braggs has been asking fantastic questions all this offseason, to be honest with you. So yeah, give him credit because he's been on it. I like the questions he's brought up to Ryan Poles, Justin Fields, and now Caleb Williams. So yeah, and one more from Christian's side. I agree with you to an extent. I think aesthetically we all like. I enjoy it. I get pumped up for it. Like you know what I mean. Like you're about to turn a new leaf. It's going to be a new year. You got all these young prospects that can help your team. Some of them might be on your team and can help your team next year. So I get it, but yeah, it's absolutely to at a certain point unnecessary, right? Like there's just certain things that I just all right, you're running around in shirts and shorts, moving and evading imaginary players. Uh, Anybody could look good in shorts and in a t-shirt. You know what I mean? Anybody could have a great day throwing the ball on 7-on-7s. And that's just how I look at it. But I agree with you, Christian. It's it's a it's something that I think they need to look at. Maybe changing up a bit, switching things up, adding certain things, maybe taking certain things out. But we'll see how it goes. I'm not part of the upper management of the NFL, so we can only hope and dream.
What am I? Sorry, repeat. Yeah, it's like I've said before. It's familiar. It's hometown, as everybody knows, and um, it'd be really cool to be back there and experience that. Um, the meeting went really well, and being around those, everybody was in the room, so being around everybody, just getting the taste of how they are, who they are, because like you said, everything's new there. Yeah, the Patriots were cool. It was um, the room wasn't as packed. They had just a few guys here, um, and we talked mainly about ball. It was a good impression. They were asking me questions about my life, about ball, testing me and things like that. So all of the meetings were good, and they were all kind of in the same ballpark. Everybody, they don't really get to see you and test your mental. So this quick 10-20 minutes that they have, that's what they're mainly doing, trying to get out of you. It's not a thought in my mind. Yeah, I don't think I'm not going to be number one. I think I put in all the hard work, all of the the time, effort, energy into being that. So I don't think of a plan B. That's kind of how I do things in my life. I don't think of a
Uh, all right. I mean, competitive at what? Practice? You already have pretty much a consensus that you're going to be the top player taken in the draft. And then you have the other quarterbacks also not throwing. So that's kind of like where I'm at. Like, I imagine those other two quarterbacks are competitive as well. But what are you doing? I feel like going into a comfortable setting where people can see you. I mean, you're basically doing the same thing, right? You're basically doing the same thing, just in a more private setting. You got all the NFL scouts there. I don't know. I don't see it as you're not being competitive, not participating in a glorified practice.
plan B, stay on plan A, and then when things don't work out, find a way to make plan A work. Um, I plan on visiting a good amount of teams. Don't exactly know what the plan is with that. Um, just because I've met with teams that I didn't know that I was going to meet with when I got here. So, um, yeah. If I who? Oh, wow, wow. I'd add a swimming contest. It's my second sport. Birds, government related. Yeah. A who? I've never seen a baby pigeon. Yeah.
Quite honestly, I know that was a dumbass question, but I ain't never seen a baby pigeon either. So, I mean, take it as you want.
Yeah. What do I want to impress them or what? The main thing that I've, if they ask me or if it comes up, the main thing that I've said, I want to go to a place that wants to win. A whole 360. So meaning the from the top all the way to the guys, and down to the janitors, the people that make everything run. It's just everybody wants to win. Everybody's a part of that, and we all take care of each other. Yeah, a lot of things are coming out right now. Y'all rarely see me speak ever. As y'all know, I don't really go out and speak much, but this was important to me that I wanted to put something out before I came here, especially with all the noise and things like that that's been brewing and things like that before I came here, and then now since I've been here, a bunch of stuff comes out. But just wanted to put something out so everybody knew exactly where it was coming from. Yeah, no, it was not intentional. I didn't see the bear on the front, but it was kind of funny when I saw the reports about it. Yeah, yeah. There's not many people in the world that get to experience what I experience every game day, every practice day. Um, so it kind of goes back to um, you know, it always kind of goes back to that for me. It's something that I only get to experience. It's something that I really care about, which is not only winning the game, but doing it with my teammates. And so every time we lose, I feel like I let my teammates down. Yeah, yeah. I'd say anywhere I go, that's my standard. That's what I play for, as y'all saw. Um, like I said, don't play for fame. I don't play for money. Um, I don't play for jewels and things like that. I don't. It's just it's to go out there and win as many games as possible, be the best that I can. My plan is if I can be my best and play as many games as possible at my best.
Mhm.
I think I can reach certain points like that.
I like to hear that. That's something. But yeah, Bill. Look, I understand where you stand now on him, but if all of this and all the red flags turn to be nothing, you're gonna tell me you still hate the fact that we have him? If he proves to be a leader in the locker room, would you still hate the fact that we have him? I think it's going to take time. I think it's going to take time eventually. Uh, if they do draft Caleb Williams, for Justin fans to kind of grow attached, and honestly, Caleb has to win the city over as well. You know, we've I understand the confidence, but and I'm sure all the Justin fans are going to say talk is cheap, which it is. But if you could back up the talk, it's something that very few can do. So, like Caleb Williams, in my eyes, he still needs to prove himself, even when he gets drafted. If it's to the Bears or whoever, he still needs to prove himself. But if he comes in here and like I said, I think I mentioned this on Keeping It 100, he throws for 3,700 yards, 24 touchdowns, has 8 interceptions. You know what I mean? Or and the Bears are in the playoffs, in the wild card. You're not going to be happy about that? I mean, we had an opportunity to be in the wild card in the playoffs last season. God knows how, but we didn't make it with Justin Fields. So if Caleb comes in, he becomes a fixture in the locker room, starts playing well. I don't think you're going to feel the same way, Bill. I don't think you're going to feel the same way. I think everybody's scared of the unknown, and that's kind of what we're going off of right now.
I wouldn't say that I necessarily feel as I need a jump. I would say there's small things that you may need to correct or adapt to going into an NFL locker room where I'm 22 and people have kids and they're ranging on 35 and things like that. So um, I would say just adapting to the situation. I'm understanding what the team needs from me, and going about it that way. Yeah. So the cool thing about my experience is that all 3 years have been a bit different. Um, this past year we went 7-5, and so my leadership needed to be different. The year before, I came into a situation where we were 4-8, so my leadership needed to be different. The year before, I came in as a backup, and then I jumped up and became the starter. So my leadership throughout times have been different. And I think it's helped groom me for the situation I'm going into now.
That's something very important that he's mentioned. Going into USC, a bad situation, right? USC was on the down tilt. Um, Caleb comes in there and he revitalizes them, right? Now, granted, they had a lack of talent on one side of the ball, or I want to say maybe just a lack of success on one side of the ball, on the defensive side of the ball for USC. So you would begin to see Caleb playing that hero ball. Now he's talking about his leadership, I'm sure in the locker room and with the guys that he has, but he also understands that, hey, if this situation right now, if we're a team struggling, I'm not going to go ahead and be comfortable losing fucking football games and going into the locker room having a club dub, or we finally scrape one together and we're over here celebrating nothing. I feel like that's where he's talking about. Now some of that may be speculation, but I feel the ability to adjust and be a leader amongst men, but being a leader amongst ever changing groups of men, it's something that is very important in my eyes for a guy, especially playing quarterback, to have. You have to be able to adjust to your personnel. You have to be able to adjust to your teammates.
Just, do you want to win? That's it. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, everybody.
All right, that was Caleb Williams from the Combine. I don't feel like the guy is, going to be the next Ryan Leaf, and I know we beat Ryan Leaf to death. Ryan Leaf has a media career now, so he's obviously found some type of success in his life. So I don't want to beat up Ryan Leaf, but like the poster boy for busts, ever since I've been a football fan, like, and I know there's been plenty more before, but ever since I was a young enough football fan to understand what the hell was going on, Ryan Leaf was the poster boy for busts in the NFL draft. Don't have the next Ryan Leaf. Don't get the next Ryan Leaf. I don't see that from this guy at all. I don't see that from this guy at all. His fans or his teammates don't see it from him. His teammates have said it multiple times. Caleb Williams, draft Caleb Williams. If you don't draft Caleb, I think it was Brendan Rice. If you don't draft Caleb Williams, good luck. Have fun losing your job. Other teammates love him. Like there's a truth to everything, right? So maybe Caleb has a problem with maybe one or two people in his locker room, maybe, but that's not the vibe that I'm getting from the hearing personnel, hearing his teammates. It's just not the vibe I'm getting from Caleb Williams. He seems like a good kid who just wants to fucking win, and he just wants to be the best. And sometimes being the best takes a little bit of an ego, takes a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. You have to go into this thing with some type of confidence. And I don't think that confidence is overbearing. I don't think that confidence is arrogance. I think it's confidence in his ability and eagerness to prove himself out on the football field. Guys, I'm Ivan Vargas. Thank you for joining me here today. Little quick pop-up show for the Caleb Williams interview at the Combine. I hope you enjoyed it. Before I take off, how am I? Wait. I'm a hater? What are you talking about, brother? What are you talking about? Hey, man, you guys need to start paying attention on this show. I've been advocating for Caleb this entire offseason. Where have you been? Where have you been? Even on this show, this show right here, I'm backing Caleb up. What's going on here, Kendi? Have you seen the show before? Nobody hates Caleb Williams here, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, guys, enjoy your day. I'm Ivan Vargas. Make sure you become a patron, www.thetapeneverlies.com. I guess I'm a Caleb Williams hater all of a sudden, even though everybody else in the chat knows that that's quite the opposite. So anyway, peace out, guys. I hope you enjoy your day. I'm going to get out of here.